Oh my god,
Um,
your voice.
my
Your
voice,
voice.
my
So
voice,
sexy.
my
So
voice.
sexy.
Do it again. Do it again.
So sexy. What happened?
Louder, lower.
Jesus. All right.
Okay. Well, welcome to Pondering Pandas. Hold on, we're gonna do that again. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Welcome to Pondering Pandas, a podcast where we ponder about the confusing modern world and try to make sense of it all. We are your host. My name is Jayden.
My name's Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking
What's
about Mother's Day.
Mother's Day? Yay.
For the upcoming Mother's Day, I feel like it would be really important to celebrate mothers around
Mm-hmm.
the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you celebrate Mother's Day back in China?
I think I think the most important question is, do we have mother? No.
Do we have
That's
a
too bad.
mother? I mean, everybody technically has a blood mother. Because if you
Yeah,
don't, I mean, I guess we are kind of moving towards that technology eventually.
really.
Probably, yeah. Like you probably
Wow.
don't need a human to have a baby soon.
So we're basically cloning ourselves, or
Not
what's
clone.
the?
Like there's technology right now that's trying to have fetuses in like some sort of a incubate
Mm-hmm.
wow incubating
In,
capsule or womb thing that is
mm-hmm.
not human, but it's like machine
Wow.
related. I think maybe this is some sci-fi shit that I've been looking at, but I don't know. That's just what I saw on the
It sounds
internet.
interesting.
It
Yeah,
can be a lifesaver. It could be, but the
it
ethics
could
of it
be
all sounds
tricky, right?
very tricky. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where's the DNA coming from? Like, are we mixing DNAs or are we using like, yeah, like that sounds tricky.
I mean, there's a lot of donors around the world, so just use that.
So we're creating superhumans with mix of like different people
I
in
wouldn't
a
call
way.
it super humans, but I think it would just be. I mean, there's gene editing, so there technically can be
Mm,
superhumans in some sort of aspect.
yeah, that's
You
interesting.
know what? That would be a fun topic to talk about. Just like the future health technologies and like what the world
Mm-hmm.
could potentially look like and how we feel about it. But today's
Yeah,
topic, we're talking about Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. So yeah, how I celebrate Mother's Day. It's pretty interesting because in China, you basically when you are young, you are forced to celebrate Mother's Day because your school will force you to do certain things. And they will say, "Oh my God, today is Mother's Day, so you have to do a painting and you have to do a little flower and you have to do something to showcase your, gratitude and everything." And also, I'm not sure if you have the similar experiences. I think in some of the schools, you're actually forced to watch the movies of a mother giving birth.
What?
Do you have this experience?
Uh, I can't say I 100% remember it. There might be like fabricated memories of it, but I don't know. Forced to see a mother giving birth. Like
Yeah, it's like a
how vivid are we talking about? Like camera directly at the
yeah,
vagina?
it's like the documentary, and basically it's just
How old were
documents,
you?
like really young, like elementary school or something like this.
And then what do
So
they tell you
basically,
after that? Like how like
yeah, just like you see how much the pain the mother suffers to give birth to you, and you have to be like grateful about your existence. You have to understand like how much pain like your mother have been through to give birth. So I think that's kind of like education like we didn't expect. But I think Like when we are talking about it now, it seems a little bit off, right? What do you think?
A little bit
I
off. I
saw,
don't know if, I don't know how I feel about
I saw your facial expression. I was like, oh, this man is thinking something.
a little bit off. I don't know if it's a little bit off. I think it's like a lot off. At
Yeah,
elementary school? What,
yeah,
wait, like was the goal, was the communist government in China, which is like, here's the goal. We're gonna show them videos of how mothers give birth to children, and they're gonna be so appreciative of their mothers going through this pain of ripping themselves in half for us that
yeah.
we didn't ask for.
I cannot say no. Like I cannot say no to that. So maybe that was the intention.
Yes,
I
that's
think
true. They got it. They will do whatever it is they feel is right. But that is your first thing that you're gonna tell me? That is so wild. I thought you're gonna tell me about like this this thing that you guys do at
no.
school, and the parents come in and enjoy themselves and all the kids perform and all that stuff.
Yeah, those are those all of those things happen. But I think the documentary is definitely one of the, the one of the thing I remember the most. I feel like that's one of the
Is that
things.
part of sexual education though? Or no?
It's not. It's really weird. Like they give us those documentary and to celebrate mothers, but in terms of the sex education, they basically said nothing. So that this comparison is really interesting because I feel like y- you're not really looking for a consistency of the standards, but rather you are trying to see how people using different elements to achieve different goals and they don't interact each other. I'm not sure how it makes sense or not, but yeah, essentially like showing you the vagina is not the purpose. It's just showing you the pain and the suffering. And it doesn't matter if you're children or not. So I like your face, you know.
I'm so confused. Like if there's no predetermined, like how did the parents sign off on this? Like do they,
No, they
did they say, okay, yeah, this is a great idea for Mother's Day? So you, so in elementary school you like made flowers, you made crafts, and then you see videos of your mother, of a mother, not your mother, of a mother giving birth to a child. Is that like a every single year occurrence, or is it just like a, they decided on year 6 or year 5 or year 4? Like this
I
is the
think it
year you're
happens
gonna
like
see the video. Like
I think it's yeah, I think it's happened in 1 year and yeah, no one expect
so
that
you've seen it
and
once,
people once or twice.
once or
So maybe
twice.
they yeah, maybe they did it once in like elementary school, once in middle school, whatever. So basically it's one of the schedule
Okay,
they
if
have.
anybody can confirm this and has been through the Chinese education system, please enlighten me because this is wild. Why is this
Yeah.
necessary?
So
Anyways,
I think it's part of the patriotic, you know, education. It's basically you have to love your mother and respect the suffering it carries for you, and also extends to like the motherland or like more like things like this, right? So it's more like you are part of this proud, you know, group, and you want to make sacrifice for others because your mother sacrificed for you and stuff like this. So it's all like related. It was making a lot of sense when we were the children.
this is how religion, this is how religion is created. I swear to God.
Yeah, I once when I'm describing this, I have the exact same thoughts as yours, but I'm not sure how far I can go there
I was
because
like, yeah,
because
Jesus suffered, so you should
yeah,
also love him.
yeah, it's like suffering for you or for others that no one asked in first place is very common thing in the religion and in like all those education. Like, I'm not sure how far I need to go there.
This is not the type of conversation that I was expecting when we're talking about this topic at all.
Yeah,
I was
I think
thinking
that's
it's
the
just gonna be daisies, flowers, and good food, and that was it. But no, this is quite the turn.
yeah, that's the beauty of podcasts, I guess.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
I do think
Yeah.
that Mother's Day is probably a world, is it a world event? Like I think every
Yeah, I
country
think
kind
so.
of has it, right?
Hmm.
Please let me know if you don't. Because every other country I've been to, there has been a Mother's Day event. There's no like holiday, like a national holiday for it, but it's just like a
Hmm.
excuse for us to go celebrate with mothers and all that stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
And as a kid, I remember doing arts and crafts for her,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That's pretty common.
yeah, that's very common. And then I think sometimes there's even like plays or school plays or like plays that you do as a
Hmm.
class, and then your
Hmm.
parents would come in and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then as you kind of grow up, though, Mother's Day, well, I can't speak for all, but some people would hold Mother's Day to be very special compared to other days. Do you know what I mean, comparatively? And then
Hmm.
we would go out for food and like hang out with our moms. But for myself, most of
Hmm.
the holidays that I grew up in Canada, because we had a restaurant, like, we're always working. So we don't have time
Oh,
to celebrate most of the time. It's just
working every day?
we're working on the holidays. So like whether it's
Oh, I see.
whether
Yeah.
it's Christmas, whether it's Chinese New Year or like Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever it is, we would be the ones that are offering these type of services when they come in for the food, right? We would have like special
Hmm.
menus, special like blah 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 for
Hmm.
these kind
Hmm.
of special occasions. So
Yeah.
a lot of these holidays for me, it's kind of, I wouldn't. I guess we could say neglected, but the the price for it is to make money during these days because the nature of the business, right?
It's a marketing opportunities.
Exactly. Like nobody opens on Christmas except for the Chinese. So that's why all the Chinese restaurants are so busy.
That's so funny. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to a lot to those things. I do like other than watching the documentary,
Oh,
like we do
oh.
like other than watching the movie, we do like celebrate by, making the small gifts and making the flowers, and also we were told when you go back to home, you just wash your mother's feet.
What?
Like something like it's not that. So basically just you learn to just repay your parents because they have been like raising you like so,
So you're
so
like acts of
with all
service,
efforts.
like acts of
Yeah, yeah,
service, or like they don't have to cook for the day because they cook
exactly. Yeah,
364 other days.
yeah, yeah. It's either like you cook for them, or you just wash the dishes, or you just prepare something for them. Yeah, although like when thinking back, it's a little bit weird to ask a children to have some hot water and to like handle all the things and to but
Have
it's
you
funny.
have you washed your mother's feet?
Yeah, I think I did several times during
Okay.
those occasions, and I do. So all the jokes aside, I do feel like those moments are very memorable because it's, I think the parents will really enjoy them because
Because we're the
it,
servants.
because yeah, because on I think in the normal day, it's never expectation. You heard from your parents saying like, okay, you come to wash my feet, right? So that's never something like feel like really normal or really like. But in those days, and they were just like have those sneaky smiles deep down in their heart. They were like, "Oh my god,
Oh, like
finally, yeah, the children is growing up and they know how to be grateful and to understand the hardship we have." And that's something I think is heartwarming in a way. Yeah.
in my opinion, I don't think it requires that day for them to realize that we understand hardship. I think at the end of the day, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
kids, I can't speak for other people, mine and probably you and a lot of the Asian kids would know where this hardship comes from, like how hard their parents work comparatively to their peers, potentially. I think most kids are appreciative to what their parents have done for them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times, I think it's because we don't practice
Yeah.
gratitude and practice how to be thankful and practice the communication and the words of affirmation to our parents. Then a lot of the times they might feel like they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally can echo to that. I feel like we're really holding everything deep down and we're not expressing anything. We're just trying to be tough and trying to be like acting normal
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's definitely making the situation intense in the day-to-day like life. So when something happens like this, you are forced to show your love or feel like you are giving a request to complete the mission. It actually feels like really relieved for both parties. So basically, you are asked by the school to say "I love you" to your parents, and in that case, you feel like you have less mental burdens to show those emotions. And I think that's a great icebreaker in a way. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been on the other side yet, but I think it's kind of cute to like receive some sort of artwork and some sort of creation that your kid has done for
Mm-hmm.
you. Whether or not it is organic or it's forced, I still think it's appreciative to see that the kid has created something for you. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure my mom has never kept any of those art things. So, it's probably in the dump somewhere because I haven't seen them.
But maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe one day your mother will be holding a really, well kept, box
Can
and
you
it has some
imagine
locks
bringing
on
those
it.
things across the country, sorry, to the other side of the world when you were immigrating? Like, it's basically garbage. I mean, I know that they brought photos, but not things that I've done. Nah. I definitely
Yeah.
photos though.
You never know because sometimes I remember once I discovered I like to sing myself. I like to sing when I was young and I do like use my parents' phone to do some recordings just just for fun. I don't know. I did some random recordings with my parents' phone. And one day I was playing my dad's phone. I just realized that he actually put one of my singing to be the default soundtrack on his phone.
But not
So
your
actually I
we're talking about mothers. We're not talking about dads. But that's really really
yeah.
cute. But that's really cute.
Yeah, it surprised me. I was like, I'm pushing the play button, and suddenly I heard my voice. It's so embarrassing, but at the same time, I think it's confusing as a children when you hear that. But after you grow older, it makes more sense. So I'm just
When did he
yeah, I think
change the ringtone?
I don't know. I don't want to know. It's just so embarrassing.
The moment he
It's
decided
crazy.
not to love you.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so. I
kidding.
think. How do you celebrate Mother's Day?
We worked.
That's all.
No, seriously, we worked most of the time. Or the thing is, we worked, and then we would always try to buy something. It's very gift giving
Mm-hmm.
for previous Mother's Day, and I would like to personally change that in the future for the remainder Mother's Day that I will have. Because I find, I don't know, this is my personal opinion. I find gift
Uh-huh.
giving is very, it's fine. It's nothing special.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very, in a way it's very like lazy, and I think
I see.
spending time like having
Mm-hmm.
dinner and going to do things would be a little bit more. Just maybe it's just because I've been gift giving a lot every single Mother's Day. It's like flowers or I don't know, makeup or perfume or just those things, right? I don't think there's too much sentimental value in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think sometimes gift giving might be a little bit too easy in
Mm-hmm.
some circumstances, and I would like to change that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you done anything like you feel like it's really memorable, or you feel like you have done really something really sincere in the sentimental like level?
like for specifically for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Have you
No,
done anything yet?
I don't think so. Like our my timeline just hasn't matched up very well. I'm on the other
Mm-hmm.
side of the world right now, and Mother's Day is happening, and I'm basically not there.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my sibling would just be like, "Oh, do you want to send me money for this thing that we can get for her together?" And that's it.
Ooh.
But
That
it
yeah.
again, that's like gift giving, right? So it's not
Mm-hmm.
very, I don't know. I mean, at least it's going to be
Meaningful.
useful for her. Like if she wanted some sort of skincare, if she wanted some sort of decor for the house, like we could get that for her. But I don't know. I personally just don't feel it's very special. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's it's different for her because I mean she still keeps around some of the things that I've gifted her. But maybe it's because you can keep it around. For example, like like this pot of really nicely decorated fake
Uh-huh.
dry flowers. And
Oh, that sounds nice.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, you can keep this forever." So
Mm-hmm.
she places in different spots in the house sometimes, and yeah, those are kind of cute. But when it's like real
She
flowers,
kept those things.
she
See?
I don't
She
know.
kept.
For me, it's just like it doesn't really like. There's no memories attached to it. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Okay,
Oh, I see.
here's like
So
a
you're looking for some common memories together, something like this,
yeah, maybe it's
or
something to have a sentimental memory value together instead of like I'm
mm-hmm.
just gonna go out this store and I thought this pot of plant looks really nice. It's fake and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have it forever and here you go. Like that's all there was to it, right? But like it was,
Yeah.
but my thought at the time of buying it was more like, oh, maybe she can have this forever, so then it won't die out like real flowers.
Exactly.
My thoughts of gift giving is always very effortful in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion.
Yeah.
But after gift giving it or when you receive a gift, you'll be happy for like 3 5 seconds and then it just kind of like dies down. I don't know.
But
Doesn't isn't that
yeah, yeah. Maybe on your end, I can totally understand because I'm in the same, team here. I just spend some time to pick up a gift, but
uh-huh.
after giving out the gift, it kind of dies out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I wonder, like, I wonder if that's the case. So I want to like ponder with you.
All right,
Like,
let's
do
ponder.
you think do you think after our mother received those gifts,
Mhm.
they'll actually have a very strong emotional attachment to those things? Because now like you are in this situation, like you cannot be around her like anytime. You will visit back for sure, but you are not nearby.
Yeah.
So and also you give her a flower that will never die or it will be there forever. So can you imagine maybe she will see the flower as an emotional attachment, like a symbol of you, so that accompanies her in a way.
I'm not sure because I mean, maybe for her it would be, but for myself it would just be like, oh, it's Mother's Day. I'm on the other side of the world. I could Uber something to
Hmm.
her. Like as a thought, as a gesture,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a nice act of service ish thing, but like through gifts. But there, I don't know, but for some reason to me it just doesn't feel like there is any value or memory attached to it. There is a thoughtful gesture to it, yes,
Hmm.
but maybe
I
I have like too high standard of what I
mm,
want it to be, if that makes any sense.
yeah. Let me see if I get this right. I think you are talking about the guilt of not being able to be around and to be a decent son or children.
Rude.
So, so yeah, are you talking something? It sounds like this to me. So like I don't know, maybe.
Uh, is if that's what it's coming across, that's definitely not the intention. I don't think I'm guilty of not being there. I think I'm okay. If we're gonna talk about right now, at this
Hmm.
current moment, this year,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, sure, it sucks to not be in the same country with her, and I don't necessarily feel like it's guilt in that way for Mother's Day. I think for
Hmm.
me, it's way bigger and way deeper in a general sense.
Hmm.
Like, why am I not as successful as I wish I am by now?
Oh yeah,
Like those
the
those things, like my own
full
challenges.
package.
Exactly. It's those things. So I don't think it's like that specific event because I guess because it's Mother's Day and we haven't really practiced it, we haven't had these
Hmm.
many traditions together. So for me, a lot of these holidays kind of is diluted in terms of how I feel about them.
Hmm.
Unless she wants, a lot of times, the only time that we have time together is family time at the dinner table.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think a lot of the time she just likes that type of moment. It's just like having dinner together, and every other holiday she was just basically, oh, it's like this holiday, maybe you can go out
Hmm.
to get some food for yourself because like it's usually like family day. It's kind of like when she talks about the
Hmm.
autumn festival, she's like, oh, it's kind of like turkey festival in the West
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
has
it's very
fam
similar.
yeah, like everyone has family time, so like you should try to go get food or something like that. So I think there is a lot of that value with for her because that's what she usually strives for, if that makes sense,
Hmm. Yeah,
comparatively to like
totally.
gifts or something. But like she does enjoy receiving gifts, I'm not gonna lie, but I just don't think it doesn't like last as long. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But did she say anything different in those days? I know the holidays may mean, but from her end, does she react differently or she anticipates those things to
That's the
happen?
thing though. Like she doesn't. It's like any other dinner time. It's like what's the difference? Like we're always going to argue about the same shit. She's going to bring up like the
Really?
same problems about the same things of,
Uh-huh.
family drama, gossip, those things. It's like, oh my God, like just not, I guess like that's just what dinner time is for her, is just those type of chats. And
Hmm.
and I think in another way is because we are so busy in our lives. The only time
Hmm.
that she's able to like word vomit to us is during family dinner time. It's like all her concerns, everything that's happening in our lives, what's wrong with us, and what's going on with like our studies, and everything. So she's gonna put everything out there during this dinner time, and like those are the only time that she feels like we're all sitting down at the dinner table where everyone's here and everyone can say or listen to her, I guess. But outside of that, yeah, we are quite busy. We all have our own lives. Even when we were growing up, like she had to run her business. My sister
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
you know, busy and I'm busy with uni, so we all basically had different lives other than
Hmm.
having like that one meal together.
Yeah, sounds like a daily routine, or sounds like a daily routine meeting,
I
routine
know.
family meeting.
It's like a family meeting, but with food, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's
Checking the
interesting.
progress. What's your deliverable? What's
Yeah,
the progress?
exactly. It's like
Have
management.
you resolved my have you resolved my concerns?
Oh yeah, basically. It's like, "Oh, did you make the appointment for XYZ? Did you did you figure out your courses yet? Like what is happening? Are you passing?" And then we can talk about, other financial stuff in businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just
Amazing.
kind of basically our topics. Or just talk about
So
family issues too.
yeah, yeah. So basically on Mother's Day, your manager receives some gifts, right? So that's
Yeah,
that's
like
what
that's
happened.
the extra thing. That's the extra thing on top of potential dinners. And yeah. What about you though?
Amazing.
What about you?
Yeah, I do associate many of my Mother's Day practice with. In the first place, I was young. It's associated with the gratitude, or I was forced, or I was happy to like show my gratitude and to do the extra things to please them, and they'll be emotional, they'll be touched, and they'll be like, oh, you are such a good boy, or like, we love you, whatever, those things.
Doesn't it feel fake?
uh
Like you're forced to do these things to like receive these like bullshit gratitude. It's like, "Oh my god, you're such a good boy." Like shut the fuck up.
yeah, yeah, I think I can I can definitely relate to that, but on the form it seems like really forced. But also I'm being really mindful that as a children, you're trying to pretend to be really tough. Like when we were young, I'm not sure if you are one of those kids, but I was like, oh my god, I'm such a mature kid. I want to grow up already. I don't rely on anybody, and I'm just just a cool kid, like those things. But in those occasions, I feel like, okay, since I was given a task, and I was assigned a task, or like I was given this request, so I can show my softness to my mother, and which is a perfect excuse for myself to practice and to show. But I think the emotions are genuine, but like we just didn't want to show, or it's more like very embarrassing thing for children
Mm.
to show, or for the Asian children to show in other occasions. So I think, yeah, I think it's a mix. I think it's fake at the same time it's genuine in a way.
It is a combo of both of
Oh,
them because no, it
yeah,
is because
yeah.
it's like yeah, you're saying like oh because it's kind of like Valentine's Day, right? It's not
Mm.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we have
Exactly,
to we're
exactly.
pressured to
That's a
do
nice
stuff.
example.
Yeah, yeah, it's like we're pressured to do something and to show love to your significant other, which is great to have a reminder to here's the mindset of it though. I think the other day I heard about um a discussion about why these holidays
Hmm.
exist. One can
Hmm.
perceive it as like, ugh, this is like another thing to do
Yeah.
these things, but it's also another day to remind people that
Hmm.
this is a day to allow yourself to show gratitude to whatever the day it is, whether it's Valentine's Day, Mother's Day,
Yeah, yeah.
to kind of like
Hmm.
make it a little bit more special and more intentional. And I think
Hmm.
that's the whole premise of it. Everything
Exactly.
else is just kind of a little bit more added on. So it just depends how you want to look at it. So the way I want to look at it in the future is being a little bit more intentional
Hmm.
with the activities and potential time being spent with them because I don't know, man. It's as your parents kind of get older, you kind of realize like, oh, I might not have that many springs with them or summers, you
Oh
know?
my god. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So the Mother's Day have become a reminder of guilt for myself at least.
Oh
I
no.
think it's more like, naturally, you just realize how close you were with your mother when you are children. I think as a kid, I'm not sure if that's sexist, but as a kid, as a son,
Hmm.
you kind of like naturally be really close to your mother and the closest to your mother, and you feel like that's the one of the most safe relationship you have in your life.
Are you a
That's how
mother's
I
boy?
feel.
Are you a mama's boy?
In a way, yeah. Well, at least when I was really young, so that was the situation.
Mm.
But now I've been here living abroad myself and for almost like 10 years, and of course we visit each other from time to time. We have communications, we can find each other at any time,
Yeah.
but naturally we just feel like more distant because we didn't, I start to have my own life. I have my own priorities. I have my girlfriend, and a new, like, basically I have a new family in a way that it's it just reminds me that, whoa, like we had such a close relationship, and now, like, maybe she's waiting for me to connect with her more and to share more story like the old days or whatever, right? So those are the times I feel like she's not blaming me, but maybe I can do better in those situations.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
can relate to the whole being distant as we're getting older. I think
Mm,
sometimes the things you see on social media kind of helps you reflect on some of these things. As you get older, you kind of don't want to spend that much time with your parents, but as they grow
yeah.
older to a certain extent, you want them to stay in the world for as long as they can,
Yeah. Yeah.
or even like an extra hour or a day or something like that. Like you
Oh.
wish for those things for as much as you
Yeah.
can, right? So I think for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like I'm realizing that a little bit sooner. I mean, there's nothing health concern wise, like she's healthy for now, and thank God. And there's nothing to be worried about. But at the same time, I think like because of like where I am in life, trying to make things happen, do my own growth, my own careers and XYZ, there is this sense of being distant from her in terms of communication and what's really
Mm-hmm.
going on. And I think for I can't speak for everyone else, but for myself, I there's a
Yeah.
lot of conversations that I am not able to have with her because we've never had those type of conversations before, such
Mm-hmm.
as like emotional conversations,
Yeah.
why I'm feeling this way today. Like we just never had that practice. But you can
Mm-hmm.
argue like why don't you just practice today? Like I don't even know how to start sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's very interesting because when you do start those conversations or any type of conversation
Mm-hmm.
that you don't expect that they would understand, you kind of forget that they are human in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like they
Oh,
have this
that's
front.
really relatable.
That's
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have this front of they want you to do well, they want you to do XYZ, they would don't want you to disappoint them, blah 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 blah. But when you
Mm-hmm.
have like a real human problem and you are actually going to tell them about it, I don't know about everybody else, but when I did that to my mom, I had to tell her about something was happening in uni, and
Mm-hmm.
she like, I how do I say this? Like it was very interesting to see that
Mm-hmm.
human aspect of my mom to
Yeah.
shine. Do you know what I mean? It was very
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
shocking to have that experience, and it kind of allowed me to see her in a different light. And
Mm-hmm.
you kind of just forget that they are human, you know?
I take things so for granted that my mother is a superhuman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was sick, I was have high fever when I was a children. I just remember her like carry me like all the way, with the stairs from like floor 1 to floor 7, and just like, I was a chubby children. I was a chubby like child, and she carried me, all by her foot, and also just carry me to the hospitals. She was so like she can do anything when I was a child. It makes me
Yeah.
to wonder like, okay, so she solved all my problems. She called to different people to try to, find the solutions, and trying to she would do all the labors, to help me. It's really hard for me to imagine she have her own like vulnerability and her like own worries and stuff, at least as a child. But now you see this woman, you feel like she is, perfectly normal, and she is, at least she doesn't have like another pair of arms, whatever, So I cannot imagine how she managed to take care of me and be so like strong and tough, and to
Mm.
be able to handle those challenges. So when I was young,
Do you have
in
any
those
do you have any specific
moments,
stories?
I was a really naughty child when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I have a lot of issues with the school, with the teachers. I beat my teachers.
What? Do they beat you back?
I think it's a fight.
Like you would punch them and hit them.
Yeah, I would be like, what are you doing, right? I did once or twice, so it's not a common practice, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So you can imagine as a parent, like
Yeah.
when you are in all those dilemma, or in those tensions or dramas, like how you are handling those situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she will face my anger for sure, and she will face the school's anger, and also the threats of like, oh, your child is such a bad boy and she needs to be gone forever, all those things.
Right.
But I think she just never tried to blame me for everything. She's just trying to be a really like natural party, and trying to understand like what's happening, and trying to be a mediator, instead of like some person to just feel like, oh my god, I had this shame from the school, and I want you to be shamed as well, right? So that's maybe
Mm.
something like could be more making sense. But she never do that. And also, in Chinese schools, we value like the score so much. It's like the score or the grade you have for
Yes.
the for the
Yeah.
for the school is everything. So like, if I have a good grade, it'll be everything. And such a kid, I don't like study.
Yeah.
So I was like having like really mediocre, grades and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
teachers always tell her like, she can work harder, right? Why is he not doing like extra courses? Why he's not doing like all the things additionally? And he has the potential, and he can be like a top, student. And my mother is like always taking all those pressures, but also always tell my teachers to chill, and not to like putting too much pressure on me and stuff like this.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think those things she has done is really something remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure like if that's a good thing for me in the long run or not, but at least she doesn't treat me as something I have to obey, to the school and to the teachers, or I'm allowed to have my own ideas and opinions, and even though like some of them can be horribly wrong or not making any sense. So I think that's why I really think she's a superhuman, because I think she's taking a lot of pressures
Mm-hmm.
when she has a children like me.
Right. Do you have anything you particularly want to do for your mother in the future?
Yeah, I do want to spend more time with her. So, which means like I kind of need to make sure I will have more free time. So that's why I think the one of the reason we are starting this project, or I'm starting like many of the the projects, because I hope like over time this project can unlocks me more possibilities, so I don't have to worry about a 9 to 5 that locks my time. So I really want to travel the world with her or to explore all the different things with her. But I kind of need to buy my time first before I can do these things. So I think that's one of the motivation I have here. Yeah.
That's really lovely. Yeah. I think yeah, we're similar in that sense. I have a few things I would love to do for my mother in the future
Uh huh.
is um I think this is going to be a challenge for everybody as well, but maybe even for you. And
Uh huh.
lately I have been thinking I want to kind of some sort of communication to her to tell her that she has done so much for our family because she did, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
she feels people are just taking her for granted, and people
Oh, I see.
are
Mm-hmm.
um just think like she can fix things, but at the same time we all like kind of forget that she's human. Me,
She's too useful.
she's too, yeah, I think she's too useful, and she has been stepped on many times. And I don't know, I just want to be able to communicate to her, be like, hey, like, I love you. These are the
Mm-hmm.
things that you have done so well from the day that I could remember, basically. So, like, somehow you got your family together in China, and then somehow you
Mm-hmm.
got your family together in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You went through
Mm-hmm.
these, you went through that, you went through this. And there's so much hardship that she has been through that
Mm-hmm.
it changed her, if that makes
Oh
any
yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because
She became a manager. You
she became, no, you know the saying when a woman have to become many different roles because she doesn't have
mm-hmm.
support?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's exactly like that. So like my
Mm-hmm.
father's not in the picture anymore. So she had to become a lot of the things that my father hasn't been able to. And
Mm-hmm.
she had to pick her battles, whether or not she is putting all of her time into the business so then she can provide for us. But she's sacrificing a lot, right? So like I want to let her know
Yeah,
that your
yeah.
sacrifice is appreciated,
Mm-hmm.
you know, deserves the attention that it needs, that you deserve, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
there's like this type of communication that she has just hasn't been able to receive from other parts of the family
Yeah,
members because she's
yeah.
helped a lot of people, and everybody just kind of turned her back against her. In a way,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to tell her story, if that makes any sense. I no, I seriously do, because she has
Yeah.
a really
She's
crazy life experience that
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if any woman would be able to go through what she's been through, to be honest.
Yeah. I I can relate. I can imagine that probably the thing you want to see the most is like she becomes a normal human being without like all those burdens and pressures, and you can see her like start to enjoy life instead of like trying to like pushing things through and to be so tough.
Hmm.
And she doesn't have to, right? She can become like, maybe you can be the shoulder, or you can be the one taking all the responsibility in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's something that I want to do for her, and I want to allow her to travel and just let her have fun. And
Mm-hmm.
there is, maybe this might be a little bit too much, but I just
Go
kind of want
ahead,
to
go
like
ahead.
put this out into the world of
Yeah, please.
maybe like this other person could potentially relate, is that I am still in the UK. My mom has been single for quite a long time,
Oh, I see what you mean.
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she, I don't know what she was going through that day, but I think she kind of explained to me, like, oh, sometimes I feel very, very lonely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that everything is going to be just like the way it is now. Like, I'm so used to it being lonely, and potentially there's like this other person that could like walk into my life. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I really kind of enjoy my peace, but sometimes this loneliness is very crippling,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I just bury myself in work so then I don't have to face these type of emotions, feelings, and what it is that
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling and what the realization and reality is, right? So,
Yeah.
and then she's also saying like when I retire, like I really don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And just
Mm-hmm.
kind of hearing that, I was like, oh my goodness, like that is so human of her that
Yeah.
I just did
Yeah.
not realize that she is going through that. But it's so obvious that she is going through that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's working so much. She is burying herself in work. She only ever cares about like our success, our progress and everything. But underneath
Mm-hmm.
it all, she is just going through the exact same thing that we're all potentially going through, but she's just not voicing it and she's just not telling it to
Mm-hmm.
anybody. And the reasons that she can only tell me is because she can only tell me. So
Yeah.
and there's no one else that she can tell. So, and I feel very like it's such a bad
Obligated.
no, such a bad son to like not
Oh
see
yeah.
that. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
anyways, just want I want to be able to provide some sort of like relief for her and some sort of happiness a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
in
Mm-hmm.
the next part of her life, hopefully. So,
Yeah, that makes total sense. And there's a saying, or I just made this up, is that
you just
if
made
you are
up.
being if you're really being like really tough,
Mm,
maybe you're just avoiding to face your own like needs or demands, or you're just trying to become something else, just in order to cope with the challenges and everything. So I think in those situations, as a mother or as a parent, like they definitely suppress some of their own needs and they sacrifice themselves in a way and just in exchange for something they feel like that's more valuable,
mm-hmm.
usually their children. So yeah, that's something admirable.
Appreciate your mothers, appreciate everything that they have done for us, especially the good ones, the hardworking ones, and the ones that don't know how to show us love, but they could only show us love the way that they know how.
Mm-hmm.
And just be a little bit more compassionate and empathetic towards their situation because they're just trying their
Mm-hmm.
best as well in a certain way. And hopefully one day you're going to be able to see a different light of them when you have a chance. And hopefully that's not going to be too late. I don't want to be
Oh my god.
all tear jerky and
Mm,
stuff, but but oh my gosh, it's
yeah.
just it's just I think we're going to talk a little bit more about this on a different episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up is these different stages like really gets you thinking about what is important. Yes, success is very important, but
Mm-hmm.
being able to spend time with them at a time when you're so busy trying to create your own empire and conquering
Mm-hmm.
your own mountain is very tough to be able to split your time if you're far away or just unable to due to your own circumstances. So that is just my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts so far.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think when you were a child, you see your mother, you see your parents as the mountains you want to climb over.
Mm-hmm.
You want to form your own identity. But after you actually climb over them or to have your own word, when you look back, they are actually your shields, right? So that's and you feel like you after you're leaving those mountains, you feel like you are just you may never find some relationship or someone like them and to love you so deeply and to want to the best of you.
Happy Mother's Day. Have we done it? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you
Good
so
job.
much for tuning into Pondering Pandas. If you like this episode, please share it with your friends. Give us a comment, give us a review. Please be kind. This would really help us grow. We
Hmm.
appreciate you pondering with us today. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.